Alright, so my my radio that I have behind the tablet kind of exploded, and the tablet's acting up and doing weird stuff. So I'm aiming to put this Ilx 207 in there from Alpine. I've had it in several vehicles, and it's just been chilling in the closet over there, covered and stuff. But the downside is, well, it's got most of its cords that I need. It's got the outputs for the RCA's inputs. All the stuff that I need to make this work are here, except for one very critical thing, and that is this plug, which of course is the main power plug. However, I do have the harness from the other radio that I had in there, and funny thing, this harness has a plug on here, the main plug that plugged into the radio, this other completely separate different radio. Well, that main plug is very, very similar to this Alpine plug. Very similar. It's not the same, but I think I can get something out of it that works. And hook up the Alpine in here. Now the pin out is completely different, so there was no point in saving any of that other stuff. There is a factory plug in here which I may use, but for now I need to get this thing a plug that sends out its signals to what I need. Now if you look on your video there, I'll put a picture of the diagram from down here, right here, so you guys can see it. But essentially it's I believe, out of the top of my head, I believe it was pin 1 was ground and pin 8, I'm not sure about this, but pin 8 I think was yellow or constant, pin 1 was ground, and pin 16 is red or triggered. So I gotta, and I know they were backwards from what these wires are. So this one shows it being yellow right now, so that must be the red one then. So it's red, black, and then yellow, with the clip on the top. Now the spacing isn't exact, but it's really close, and there's even this extra space on that one. So I think I can make this work, but I want to have to do some finagling, and I got to make sure. And look at my my picture and make sure of what I'm doing as I'm working on this, so we can get a 100% match. Don't want to hook it up backwards and burn up the radio. You see, this has the red totally in the wrong place. Now, could I D-pin and move these? Yeah, but I'm not going to. I don't have a D-pinning tool, and I do not feel like trying to do it with a stick pin. Alright, so this one is red. This one is black. This one is the yellow. And this one is a remote turn on, this from the stereo to turn on whatever. I want to keep that one too. I don't care about all this other crap. I don't ever use any of it anyway. Alright, so we have a test power supply here, And my cables tell me that battery is sitting at, those two batteries are sitting at 13.8 volts. I don't believe we'll have a problem getting enough power to the radio, so provided everything is going to work. And of course, you guys won't be able to see anything. I'm hoping that I get to see something. I think that's also the power button right there. So, dust, man. Dust in the wind, baby. So this is constant. This green one is constant. This is constant ground, constant power. And this red one right here is the remote. This is the trigger to turn the head unit on. I'm gonna grab the green one right chair, and I'm gonna grab the ground one right chair. And when I make contact with this, if all of the ducks are in a row and the pigeons are flying and the kangaroos are hopping, we'll have a screen here. This screen feels pretty rough. This thing's been through a lot, so I don't even know if the radio even works or not. We'll find out shortly. Radio could be busted. It took a tumble off that shelf in there whenever the shelf fell. That was after being beat to death for long periods of time. Yeah, I think we have. Going to have to fold this hand, as Kenny likes to say. Usually default is power on, and then it goes, you can turn it off after you power it on, you know. Now I just want to show you guys, I pulled it back apart. Pull the plug back out. It looks fine here, and the pins are all pretty. They're all straight, so nothing bent over everything. They went in there. Thing is, though, it may not have went in far enough. Because it was about that from the tip of my fingernail there up, hanging out. So it went in about right here. And these other plugs are flush, all of them. So I'm betting this one should be flush. And it was not. And I don't know. You see the pins, the contacts don't come all the way out. You know, there's a, I mean, I bet it was connected, but yeah, just saying, it might not have been. Alright guys, when I hooked the ground up, hooked up the positive, hooked up the ground. This time I got a little spark when I hooked that ground up. That's the thing. I haven't tried this yet, so I want to see what happens. Cross your fingers. Ha! Ha 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 ha! That's what's up. We have Alpine edge. Ready to go. Yes. How about that shit? Now I just got to clean everything up and make it right. And we'll be ready to install it. Yeah. What happened was that little ground came loose. The pin pushed back a little bit and it wasn't all the way in. The pin depinned itself. Or not ground, the positive. It's black, but you know, it had pushed back. So yeah, everything is honky-dory. If I disconnect that wire, it goes back off, and it should retain memory and go right back to that screen. See that shit? Therefore, everything is correct. It went right back to that screen real fast because it was holding memory from the other wire. Yeah, baby. I love it when a crazy-ass plan comes together. Now, if I was going to use these plugs, these are the factory plugs to the factory radio. This one, a long time ago, before I even got a hold of it, had been gimped up a little bit, but this tells me real quick, pretty much exclusively, seeing as there's also the remote wire running out of here, that this is the power bundle. So all I'd have to do is find the plug that matches this and match up the wires, and I could plug that plug. I could build that plug onto the back of the radio and just plug it straight in and be done. But I'm not using this. None of that's going to get used. Okay, it's all going to be just down in here bouncing around. What I am going to do is use my switch. So what I want to do is, the switch has a hot wire running through it, right? It's always on. The switch turns it off. So I'm going to put my always on wire before the switch and my turn off wire after the switch and bypass that harness completely. Oh, just in case you guys are wondering, this voltage right here is off the back battery. This one's off the front battery. So this one right here is off the lithium, and my cables read 13.8. This one's showing 13.7. So it's really close, if not accurate. It's close as it needs to be. Good times.